on track. Today's session is about academic decision making, and so we're going to talk about some of advising and also just good things that you need to know in order to be a successful student at Pulaski Tech. So if you went through orientation, one of the things we talk about is that in high school, it always seemed like there was just one office for everything. But at any college you go to, including Pulaski Tech, there is an office for every specific little thing that you might need to do. So if you have several things to do, if you need to check on your financial aid, if you need to buy your books, if you need to talk about your classes, if you need to drop a class, it may take you a while because you have to go to a separate office for every single one of those things. And so we kind of want to make sure you know exactly where you go when you have certain issues. So, where do you go when you want to discuss things like scholarships, talk about your loans, your grants, talk about your award letter, if it's been received or not? You go to financial aid. Financial aid is located on this campus, the main campus, in room 212. And that's where you go if you have questions about if you're on financial aid warning, financial aid suspension, if they've received your paperwork, if there's any documentation you're missing, anything about your funds for financial aid. Where do you go when you want to drop a class after the semester has started? To get an official copy of your transcript or to request an audit of your degree plan. Some people think you go to academic advising for all those things, but actually you go to the registrar's office. The registrar's office on this campus, the main campus, is located in room 240. So sometimes at the beginning of the semester, you can just go on your portal to drop a class. But right now, if you wanted to drop a class, you actually have to fill out a form, and that form is in room 240. So we've talked about your money a little bit, but still talking about money. If you have questions about what charges are on your account, if you have a balance that you need to pay, or to pick up your refund check, you actually don't go to financial aid for that. So that's where it can be confusing. You go to one office for something dealing with your money, and you go to another office to find out this information. And that office is the business office or the cashier's window. So just right down the hall from us. So you can see how it can be a little confusing when you're used to going to one location and now you've got to go to multiple locations and keeping all of that information in your head. So if you have issues with your portal, Blackboard, email, a lot of students come in our office and say, I can't get on my classes. I have an online class and it's not coming up, or I don't know my portal username or password. Or when I try to log in, all my links are missing. We actually don't do that in academic advising. So if you have those issues, if you have an online class or your portal isn't working, then there's an office for that. The easiest thing to do is there's a red help tab when you select the portal that you can click and fill out a form saying I'm having issues, and it asks you to be specific. Is it an email issue? Is it a portal issue? Is it a Blackboard issue? And then someone will get back to you. Over in the IT building, room 303, they also have an office to help troubleshoot some of those issues. So we talked a little bit about the registrar's office. That's where you go if you have, if you want an official audit of your degree, if you have information or have questions about your transcript stuff. But there's also a different office that deals with if you have information to turn in. Let's say you get notification that we're missing a shot record, or you want to take the compass, then that information or the location for that office is the admissions office. Exact same location as the registrar's office, but they do two different things. So where we come in if you want to set your educational or life goals, you have an idea of what career you want, but you don't know exactly what degree matches up with that. If you want to make a plan for your graduation, so you look at your degree plan and you're like, that's great, I have all these classes, 62 hours of classes to take. In what order do I do this? If you want to make that plan for graduation. If you have questions about specific classes or your degree plan, if you look at that degree plan and you say, I have no idea what cultural anthropology is. That sounds like a foreign concept to me. Then those are things that we can help you with. If you log into your portal, you went through orientation, so you've registered once, but you're kind of confused as to where you click, where you go. And then advice on the best way to achieve those goals that you have. So in what order you should take classes, if you should take summer classes or take some time off. If you're wanting to know kind of some heavier reading classes coupled with some, lighter reading classes, then that's when you come to academic advising. Those are the things that we help you with. Our goal is to help you with anything related to your course of study here at Classic Tech. So when you come see us, we are on all 3 campuses. We are fortunate that on this campus, the main campus, we have a larger staff, so we're able to stay open a little bit longer than on some of the other campuses. So on Monday, Thursday, and Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. And on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 8:30 to 6. Our South Campus, the student services is kind of all housed in the same area. That's where our advisor is located. The hours are listed, Friday 8 to 2, Monday through Friday 8 to 2. But as you can see, that you can set an appointment if those hours aren't convenient for you, and they will make an appointment for you after those hours. And then the same at our West Campus. It's room 107A. Shorter hours than we have at this campus because there's only one advisor. But if you need an appointment outside of that time, just notify the advisor and they'll make that appointment with you. And in your packet you have their contact information. I know it seems like school just started and you're just finally getting in the swing of things as far as what's expected from your instructors. You're kind of figuring out when you need to study, what homework you have to do, and when. But it is already time to start thinking about next semester because registration is about to open. So all of your current students, since you're taking classes right now, all of our current students, regardless if this is your first semester or 4th semester, registration opens for you at the same time. So registration happens or begins October 16th. That's right around the corner. October 1st is next week. So now is the time to start thinking about exactly what classes you're going to be taking next semester and making that plan. For those of you who maybe went through late registration, you know that some of the classes were gone. You may not have had the ideal schedule you wanted. If you registered early, hopefully you got that schedule that you really wanted that works best for your work or your life schedule. So what we recommend is that you come see us in academic advising early and that you also register early. So when registration opens, you're already picking out your schedule. Classes begin January 14th. So that is also right around the corner. I know it sounds crazy. So we've got 5 tips to prepare you for registration that begins on the 16th. The first is make sure you know what degree you're working on. Decide what degree you're going to obtain while you're here at Classic Tech. If you want to transfer to a 4-year school, You want to be in the Associate of Arts or Associate of Science. Those degrees are designed to transfer to a four-year school. If you're interested in just entering the workforce after you finish at Pulaski Tech, then that's why we have our Associate of Applied Science degrees and also our technical certificates. And all of our programs of study, our degree plans, are on the website. I've listed the website for you. So the second tip for registration, make sure that you're working on your developmental coursework now, that you're not putting it off. Work on your developmental courses prior to working on your other classes. There are many reasons for that. One, they prepare you for success in your later classes. They build up those skills that you need. But also, especially things like math, if you are in pre-algebra, then you've got 4 semesters of math. That's 2 years if you don't take summer classes. So if you're putting off math because you really don't like it, then you're going to be here a while. And what's going to happen is you're going to keep working on other classes and get to the end and have all this math to pile into your schedule. So start now, build up those skills, and work that way through your degree plan. Number 3, make sure you know what prerequisites are required for the courses you want to take. And prerequisites are just any classes that are required before you can take another. An example would be you have to complete English Comp 1 before you can move on to English Comp 2. If you don't have a paper catalog, it's completely online. Under the Current Student tab, you can find the catalog, and it lists every single prerequisite we have for all of our classes. Number 4, come early to the advising center. Make sure you're meeting with your advisor early to plan out your classes. If you came to us now, we could look at what you're taking, what degree plan you want to work on, and we can map out everything you're ever going to take at Pulaski Tech so you know exactly what you're taking each and every semester that you're here. And you can know when you're going to graduate. But if you want to just kind of look at a semester at a time, we can do that as well and help you figure out what classes you're taking just next semester. Some of you might have transfer credits, and you might need an override into a class, or if you want to take a fast track class or something like that, you might need an override into those classes. So come early for that as well. The last tip for registration is know how to log in and to use your PPC Portal. It has everything in it that you need to know about your records. It shows you what degree plan you're under. It shows you where we're sending your information, your mailing address, things like that. It shows you every grade you're ever going to receive at Pulaski Tech. If you have transfer credits, it shows you what we've accepted. For those of you using financial aid, it's where you get your award letter. It's where you can look at what we're charging you, all that stuff as far as your tuition and what your refund will be. So it's everything. It's what classes you're taking and all your money wrapped up into one system. But it's also where you register for classes. So now that you're current students, we advise you on what classes to take, but you go on, log into your portal, and pick your classes every semester. You choose your own schedule. We don't do that. The only time we register you is for that override. So that's why it's important to come in early now so that when the 16th rolls around, you can sit in your pajamas at home, comfortable, and just pick your classes. You don't have to think about it. You've already got your plan. Advising week is coming up, October 8th through 12th. And why this is important is it's when we kind of leave the advising center. We'll still be open, but some of our advisors will be downstairs. And what we want to make sure is that we're visible before registration opens to remind you, come see us, let's work on a plan, let's talk about what degree plan you're on, what classes you need to take. It's also just a fun week where you can register to win some prizes. bookstore vouchers. We're giving away, I think, 3 hours of tuition, things like that, so that just to kind of say thank you for coming and a way to reward you for being involved. So that's the 8th through the 12th. We'll start off on the main campus, then we'll have events at the South and West campus as well. So if there's one thing that I'll leave you with, it's to make sure that you do things early. I know it seems, again, like you just started classes and it's already time to talk about next semester. And then before you know it, it's already time to talk about doing another FAFSA, because you do that when your taxes are filed, so April, May. And then also to register for summer and fall. So it kind of sneaks up on you. So look for those dates. Make sure that you're planning ahead. Come see us often and early. If you guys have any questions, I'll stick around. If not, thank you for coming. And we have On Track every single week. So we'll be here 12:15 Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and then 5:30 on Wednesdays.